everyone. Happy Wellness Wednesday. Welcome to the CEO Flow. And guess what? We have decided this year that we're going to do what? We're going to thrive. Hello, everybody. I am Nurse Blue, and I'm here to live up to my name, sweetheart. That's it. For the next 30 minutes, I am here to be your nurse, your wellness coach, and give you some information that perhaps will be a game changer in your health. And so I'm going to live up to my name. That's it. What does BLUE stand for? I'm an acronym person, but I'm so thankful that this acronym means so much to your health because for the next few minutes, I'm going to build you. That's the B. I'm going to love you. Do you know that you can't heal anything without love? So I'm here to love you. I'm here to unite us because that's important. We want a healthy collective. We need to become more united, and I'm here to empower you. I'm here to empower you to thrive. It is the CEO's flow state. And what does that mean? That means if you're going to be in the perfect, optimal state of health and well-being, that means you're going to be thriving. And that's a big word this year, thrive, because it rhymes with 5. I've seen it everywhere, which is good. But do you really know how to activate it in your body? Well, that's what we're here to do today. So without further ado, let me recognize that it is March. It is Women's History Month. So to all the ladies out there, I want to say happy Women's History Month. We've done so much over the years, ladies. And for you gentlemen out there that are celebrating this month, I want to say thank you. I want to encourage you to continue to support women in all kinds of ways. The women, honey, let me just tell you one of the reasons why you should. You would not be on planet Earth had you not come through a woman. So we are celebrating Women's History Month. And I'm super excited because as your nurse, as your wellness coach, as your sound healer, let's not forget that, baby. We need sound. We need sound. I'm going to change my frequencies in just a moment. Now, I'm quite sure most of you are probably viewing me from LinkedIn. Hello, LinkedIn. What's up, YouTube? Hello, Instagram, Facebook. I am so happy that we're here together. And today I want to help you love your ECS because if we're going to really get the most out of this month, ladies, and I'm talking about, and this is actually for women and men. Okay. So men, you are always invited to my party. I love you. You love me. We are all good. Right. But this month, what we're going to do, we're going to love our ECS. So if you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. We're going to learn about it today. Okay. This is a soul health and wellness visit. So when was the last time you had a soul health and wellness visit from a nurse? Well, I'm here. I'm here. And soul health is the solution. At least what I believe to be soul health is the solution is to 98% of the chronic illnesses out here. So that's actually a good and a bad thing. The good thing is that 98% of what's wrong can be prevented and it can be reversed if you embrace soul health. Okay. The bad thing is most people don't know that. So what I'm doing is I'm coming to your office before you have to come to a doctor's office. And honey, stay out of the damn hospital. Stay out of the hospital. Okay. Right now, the hospitals are in crisis in many places, largely because there's a shortage of nurses. Hi to my nurses out there. And it's also a huge shortage of nurses. And there's now a growing number of medical professionals, i.e. doctors, that are leaving the profession or at least moving out of the hospital setting. So if you have a shortage of nurses, you have a shortage of doctors, but you have an abundance of people out here that are not doing well in their health, guess what? You got a hell of a problem. I am here to be an ounce of prevention to prevent. I'm an ounce of prevention because that, of course, prevents. That's a pound of cure, right? So thank God for Miss Poppins. So needless to say, guys, how do we get into a position that we can thrive in our health? We have to love the CEO of your body, the COO of your body, the CFO of your body. And if you don't know who the CEO, COO, CFO of the body is. Nurse Boo is here to educate you about it. She is the one and only endocannabinoid system. Yes, I love her so much. I absolutely love her so much. And I hope that I encourage you to love her because she's actually the game changer in your health that many people don't even know about, right? So my life was changed about 5 years ago when I learned of her. And since then, I have been working with clients to introduce people to the endocannabinoid system. And the reason why she remains a mystery is because for some reason medical books do not include her. So our doctors, largely, our doctors have not been educated on the most important system of the body, which means also our nurses have not been educated on the most important system of the body widely, not unless you are like on the holistic end. And so it is absolutely important that you know how to take care of the most important system of the body. And what's great about the American Nurses Association back in 2023, it actually granted us the opportunity to establish special for us to specialize in this area of health. And so I am so proud to be one of those professionals that said, yes, I'm stepping up and I'm doing my job today. So we're going to get to learn. We're going to get to know her because you can't thrive without her. You just can't thrive without her. I call her the kingdom of God within you. Okay. And that's because she modulates all of the other systems of the body. So, guys, for those of you who may know of the endocannabinoid system, largely maybe because that's why CBD, for those of you who are familiar with CBD, that is why CBD is so widely seen throughout over the last few years because CBD helps to support that system. But it does not start and end with CBD. No, 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 no. That is certainly a supplement for hemp products. So whether it's THC, which we also know as marijuana, or CBD, which is cannabidiol, um, both of those support the system. But I'm talking about she requires a lifestyle change overall in order to support her, or maybe not a lifestyle change, but there are lifestyle habits that you must have in order to support her. Okay. So, guys, let's get into it today. I want to help you understand that this month, let me turn that off. I want you to understand for this month how important it is for us to start building a relationship with the endocannabinoid system. And so, let me move into my notes here because I have a lot to cover in a short amount of time. And first and foremost, what I want to do is, introduce you to this system because many of you are in situations where you may have been diagnosed with something or a family member, someone you take care of, and maybe it is your desire not to be on prescription drugs, or maybe you're on prescription drugs and things are not getting better, and you're like, something's just not adding up, and there are millions of people that there is something wrong, and they're going from doctor to doctor to doctor, and they're not getting the answers, and they're frustrated. So perhaps this is what you've been looking for. That's why I say it's the game changer in your health. And just a quick story, that's what happened to me. Um, Many years, I like for millions of people out there was diagnosed with an autoimmune deficiency back in my 20s. And this was my only option. You're going to be on prescription drugs for the rest of your life or else. And that or else was really, really scary. And the prescription drugs was even scarier because I grew up watching my family members struggle with chronic diseases and they were on prescription drugs and no one seemed to get better. As a matter of fact, the only thing that happened was that, over time, the number of prescriptions increased. And what I realized is that which I had been taught in nursing school at the time did not prepare me to heal this condition, and no doctors actually knew how to heal it either. So when I found out about this system here, the endocannabinoid system, 5 years ago, and started building a relationship with the system, researching the system, and changing my life to pretty much provide this system with everything she needs to be happy, she gave me everything I needed to be happy. And what does that mean for me? I have the best health I've ever had in my life. I've been able to release at least 40 years of trauma without taking any prescription drugs, right? I have the same weight, the same, my body is the same body I had back when I was in my college years because of this system. And most importantly, guys, it's the system that was my transportation to what optimal health and well-being is: wholeness. And that wholeness is, when you hear about joy, that's really what we're talking about here. So when you learn how to love the ECS, she leads to your joy. Okay. Now, for those of you who are, I'm going back to that whole idea of, that there's something missing in this healthcare system. And the ECS, let me just start here. I'm looking at my notes. The ECS is your biological optimization system. So if you're talking about high performance, if you want peak performance as a professional, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, however whatever role you're occupying as a human being, this is the system that will help you achieve that. So I want you to think of the endocannabinoid system as the body's internal GPS for wellness. Okay. So when we're talking about upgrading your wellness strategy, it has to start with this system, because this system here is in communication with your soul. So when we talk about soul health as the solution, the soul is made of three parts. So I teach the anatomy and physiology of the soul. The three parts of the soul are the subconscious mind, the emotional body, and of course, the habits and the patterns, the lifestyle patterns that we adopt to support those two, right? Now, whatever's happening in that soul is going to be communicated to your chief executive officer, which is your endocannabinoid system. And she, depending on if that soul is experiencing peace or dis-ease, right? Those are two entirely different areas. If it's peace, that means you have adopted I love acronyms, a plan of effective action to calm your emotions. So if you have adopted a plan of effective action to calm your emotions, then your endocannabinoid system is very happy with you. But if you're like most professionals in our society now, that is constantly in a state of fight or flight, have high levels of cortisol, which I'm going to go into here, because that elevated levels of cortisol, that is killing your health. I'm going to talk to you about the implications of that. But if you are living in that state, guys, guess what? You're setting yourself up for danger, because this, as I mentioned before, is the GPS for your wellness. So either she's going to take you up or she's going to take you down. That is the role of the ECS, right? So look at it as a sophisticated communication network that continuously works to maintain balance in your body, balance and that's homeostasis. So when you hear, when you come to, the doctor's office, or if you're working with a medical professional, our job is to help you maintain homeostasis. And this is the center of homeostasis. So it's like having a highly intelligent internal conductor orchestrating your body's most critical systems. And she impacts all of your vital systems. I call it the idea systems of your body. So right now, you are in your office, you're coming up with your plans, you are constantly projecting that which you would like to accomplish, right? And here's what you want to understand about the ECS system. You can't do anything without that, because the idea systems are immune systems. So you got to make sure your immune system is performing at peak performance. Your digestive system. Well, guess what? About 80% of your immune system is in your digestive system, your gut. It's in your gut region, right? The gut is likened to be like the second brain of your body. So this one gets all the credit, but this one here, meaning the gut, is absolutely important if you want to achieve optimal health and wellness. And most people have not been introduced to how to detox that part of the body. So also your endocrine system. So when we're talking about your system of hormones, that's your endocrine system. That's the ECS impacts that. The autonomic nervous system. Okay, so that's that fight or flight again. And when you are constantly living in a chronic state of stress, all of those systems are impacted. Your ECS is not happy with you, and you're going to see some signs and symptoms and possibly calling your doctor, taking a prescription, and certainly at this point, learning how to manage problems in health. Okay, so hopefully that is making sense. So here's the bottom line. You want to thrive. She provides the key pathways to you thriving, because number one, and we're going to talk about the number one thing she does, she's your stress transformation mechanism. So she's like your stress buffer. So if you're experiencing stress, this is your buffer. She helps convert chronic stress signals into adaptive responses. So here's the most important thing you need to understand. Cortisol, she's either going to make you or she can break you. And here's why. When your ECS is having some problems, because she regulates your cortisol production, she can prevent you from burning out, or she can elevate that cortisol so much through that body that it becomes a huge problem for you. Now, short term, you can deal with. Long term, no. The other thing that the ECS does is she supports your emotional resilience by modulating neurotransmitters releasing. Okay, so let me tell you about cortisol, because cortisol, when she's elevated, she's lethal. She's absolutely lethal. So the impact of elevated cortisol levels on the body is profound. Why? Because it's multi-systemic, right? She moves throughout your body. So let me just kind of break it down to you. All right. I want you to look at this in terms of the comprehensive effects. And because you're just learning the endocannabinoid system, we're going to take one system process at a time so you can help to so you can wrap your mind around what I'm saying. Because guys, listen, let me tell you this. Your doctors don't know this information. The majority of doctors here in the healthcare system do not know this information. So it is vitally important that you do, because doctors aren't responsible for your healing. You are. Now, doctors can help you fix some things, but you are going to have to upgrade your wellness strategy to know how to activate this endocannabinoid system so that she serves you. Because when cortisol goes up, the body goes down. So physiologically, okay, I want you to think about it like this. These are the cascading effects of chronic high cortisol, and many of you are living with this. Okay, let's talk about the neurological impact of having high levels of cortisol. Let's talk about Alzheimer's and dementia. This is actually the month that would be the third year that we're celebrating my father getting his heavenly wings. So my dad passed for the complications of Alzheimer's, dementia, and cancer. My father never smoked or drank or took a drug a day in his life, and he was in the entertainment business for 70 years. So, and he worked out every single day, either jogging or walking or running 5 miles. At least 5 miles a day. Anyone who knew him knew that was his lifestyle. So it just did not make sense to me. But now it does. He suffered from high levels of cortisol, being an entrepreneur for 70 years in the entertainment industry, being a Black man in Chicago running a radio station. My father suffered from a lot of chronic cortisol. It disrupts the hippocampus functioning. So guys, guess what? That's your brain's memory. That's your emotional processing center. Okay. And the hippocampus is extremely sensitive to stress hormones. Most people, do you know how many people live their life on stress? If they don't have stress, they don't know how to live. But it's killing them. And this is why, because it contains high concentration of cortisol receptors are up here in the brain, right? And those receptors are critical for memory formation, emotional regulation. So if you're having extreme highs and lows, right? If you find yourself being triggered, reactive, it also reduces neuroplasticity. And so when we're talking about all of this, we're talking about it is impacting your cognitive processing. Now, if your processing is being impacted, think about the people around you that you work with. If they're struggling in this area, think about how the production of whatever they're doing, the execution, the implementation is all being impacted when your brain is constantly being inflamed with cortisol. All right. It also increases risk of depression and anxiety. And I know this because I lived with anxiety for many, many years. I had to build a relationship with the ECS in order to release years of trauma, as I mentioned, but to lower my cortisol. I did not have a good relationship with her. And cortisol is a bitch when she's inflamed because she goes all over the body. Let me just talk to you about the metabolic consequences. Why do you think type 2 diabetes is at an all-time high? I think I read a report that like 90 million people here in the United States are pre-diabetic. 50% of that population don't even know it. That's scary. 50% of that population don't even know it. And when you have type 2 diabetes is just like cortisol. It affects the system throughout. It impacts different organ systems. So chances are you may have some if you have type 2 diabetes, you might have some problems with your heart. Heart disease is the number one killer. So we address things in our healthcare system. We compartmentalize our health, but it is really, when you're talking about cortisol, when we're talking about type 2 diabetes, these are multi-system dysfunctions, right? So here's what cortisol does. It increases insulin resistance, which automatically sets you up to be perhaps someone who could be diagnosed in the future with type 2, especially if it runs in your family. Cortisol promotes abdominal fat storage. So this is what her ass does. Cortisol go and gets fat belly Felicia. Let me say to everybody whose name is Felicia out there, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But a few years ago, we were telling you, bye, Felicia. Now, Nurse Blue has a fat belly. You responsible for the fat belly. I'm sorry, Felicia. I love you. But since we said bye to you a few years ago, I was like, well, they're not going to be mad if I named the fat belly Felicia. So, but that's what she does. She goes and get fat belly Felicia, and she's hard to get off once she starts piling up, right? She slows the metabolism. So for those of you who keep saying, oh, I have a slow metabolism, that's because cortisol is taking over your body. We have to get her ass in check, right? She disrupts your appetite patterns, right? She increases this, what I believe is going to be an epidemic of mass proportions. She's increasing our chances of getting type 2 diabetes. And here's the one thing you guys don't realize, and this is why you really need to get a handle of this, is because this can be passed down. You talking about legacy? I hear all the time, particularly with my community of people I serve. The reason why you're working as hard as you're working, the reason why you have dreams, you have goals, because look, we're all here to visit planet Earth. We're not here to stay. Many of you are creating legacy plans. I want you to include your health in that plan. See, we focus on wealth, which is extremely important, but wealth is an inside job. You cannot create wealth with a endocannabinoid system that is compromised, because a compromised endocannabinoid system will lead to a health challenge. And if there's one thing that will have the biggest impact on your legacy, is if you pass down bad health to your children because you didn't know how to take care of your endocannabinoid system. And that is why Nurse Blue is here for you, okay? Because here's what happens. Parents who have chronic stress can modify your offspring's stress response, okay? Now, this creates potential genetic memory of trauma. Trauma can be passed down. That is why it's important that we do our soul work. You're not doing it just for you. You're doing it for the children that you're working with so hard. I mean, that you're working so hard to leave a legacy to. You don't want to leave a legacy of chronic stress. You don't want to teach them how to abuse their endocannabinoid systems, right? So, trauma, releasing past trauma, is a way in which we protect ourselves and we protect our legacies, right? It increases your vulnerability to anxiety. So we can pass down anxiety to our children. Why do you think, guys, we're having a mental health crisis? We've been hearing about this mental health crisis for quite some time because it's time for us to learn how to take care of the ECS. So right now, I want you to take a moment and I want you to put your hands over your head right now because one way you can love your ECS, and she is a girl. Okay, she is a woman. All right, so men, you have an endocannabinoid system. Even your animals have endocannabinoid systems. She is a woman. And if you love and appreciate and take care of you, nothing is going to take care of you better in your body like your endocannabinoid system. So take a moment now because she loves to be affirmed. And because majority of the CB1 receptors are in her brain, I want you to say, I love my ECS. My ECS. And then the CB2 receptors are all throughout the body. I want you to give yourself a hug and say, I love my ECS, right? And she also loves great music. So I'm going to tell you some really great ways to soothe her with blue soul music in just a moment. But when you love her, what you can prevent yourself from doing is passing on that damn trauma, that anxiety, that depression, these metabolic disorders. When we talk about type 2 diabetes, immune system deregulation, okay? When she is not healthy, autoimmune deficiencies rise, okay? Rise. And so I have some really practical ways that I'm going to offer you guys because soul health is holistic health. Soul health is how we soothe the endocannabinoid system. Soul health is how we reset these negative genetic expressions that have possibly been passed down to us. Soul health is how we really create the positive mind, body, soul health, optimal health and wellness that we are looking for. Okay. So let me give you a solution. Do you want to lower your cortisol? Do you want to build a relationship with the ECS? Do you want to reverse or prevent chronic diseases like heart disease, like diabetes, like cancer, like, several of autoimmune deficiencies, whether it's rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, Crohn's disease? I mean, the numbers are growing more and more and more. I'm going to suggest that this month, in honor of Women's Month, even if you're not a woman, you can do it too, man, because I have a special promotion, so it's for everybody. I'm going to offer you to really love yourself. This is not about self-care. This is about self-love. I want you, and nothing is wrong with self-care, by the way. Self-care is where you start, but self-love is how you get to the root of the problem. So self-care is how you take care of yourself on the outside. That's signs and symptoms. When you want to get down to the cause, you want to heal that endocannabinoid system back to health. So here's what I'm offering you to do. I'm going to encourage you to come and do a soul renewal detox. It's called the Decide to Thrive Soul Renewal Detox. It is a detox that is designed to help you to soothe, tone, love, and balance that endocannabinoid system back to health. Okay, you've been hearing me talk about it. This is the time to do it. You cannot afford to be sick right now. And there are more people that are becoming sick because they don't know about this system. So this is the day right now that you have decided to thrive because you cannot thrive without learning how to love her. And so I am offering a 3-hour training. Now, this is for people who really want to do it on their own, because I do have other options if you want to work with me, personally. But this is for people who are like, you know what? I want to learn the system of how to detox my endocannabinoid system. And so it starts with, first, you want to go grab my book, Freedom is a Frequency. In my book, I share with you the 5 steps to elevate your energy, your health, your peace, your confidence, your relationships, and of course, your abundance with joy. Okay, so it's a joy journal here. It's on Amazon. And I actually explained the system to you of how to balance her right here, right? But if you want to work with me, I'm offering this 3-hour training, and we're going to go through our book, and pretty much we're going to dive deeply into understanding and balancing the ECS with from a nursing perspective, from a health and wellness coach perspective, from someone who has balanced my own. And now on the other side, I've never had this kind of joy in my life. She leads you to your joy. Okay. Also, with this, the book comes with it. Of course, I have curated a musical playlist because the endocannabinoid system loves blue soul music. That's my new healing genre. If you're not familiar with blue soul music, baby, you need to come on Clubhouse. You need to come on Clubhouse today for the self love party. It's actually taking place at noon, and that's a Clubhouse app. I actually, if you go to my page, guys, you'll see information. You can click the link. Send me a DM. I'll send you what you need so you can come and be a part of it. It's a free experience. And what I'm doing is introducing you to musical medicinals that build, love, unite, and empower you. So you want to definitely be there. And plus, you also get a free list of, health and wellness resources, all designed to help you elevate the most important system of your body. My girl, now your girl, the endocannabinoid system. And so with those complimentary resources, guys, and I'm going to share one with you right now. You need to know about the products that help her and hurt her. I have a list of videos. Of course, if for those of you who want to learn more about her, I have doctors who specialize in the endocannabinoid system that I will share information with you. And as a matter of fact, I encourage that. I understand and respect my role as a nursing professional, which is why I have incredible leading research from doctors and researchers who are well trained in this area of the body that I would love to share with you. And one of the technologies that I use to really support the frequency of my health, particularly the endocannabinoid system, I'm going to share with you now. It's this thing here, guys. This is a game changer. It's called the X39 patch. Okay, you put this patch for 12 hours on the back of your neck or in different parts of your body, because there's different patches. But this X39 patch has this copper peptide that helps to increase the frequency of your cells. The mitochondrial cells is actually really great with stem cell production. So it actually helps to reset over 4,000 genes in your body. Okay, it's a game changer. So you can put this patch here, the X39, right below your belly button on the back of your neck. Doesn't matter if you're on medications, it doesn't interfere with nothing in your body. All things good. It's done through light therapy. So if you've ever heard of phototherapy, this is what it's all about. What are we doing? We're increasing the frequency of light in your body. When your body has more light, you have more health. You have better health. And so if you want to know more about that, guys, it has really helped to, now I love it because it's great for me in terms of best sleep of my life. I am constantly in a state of just ease and flow. And I'm coming back, and I'm coming from a person who lived with extreme anxiety that people didn't even know about for many, many years. So I'm using the patch for that. And of course, hormonal changes. That's a game changer. So if you want information on it, let me know. I will definitely send you what you need. I can't believe, guys, we have to bring this great show to an end. And it went by so fast, but I'm so happy that you were here to join me this morning for all of the information that you might need about soul health and wellness. I invite you, go to soulhealthcommunity.com. Yeah, everything is there. You will find me where you will be absolutely, you'll be absolutely blown away by how much I've already created for you on my YouTube channel. Okay, so I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're on YouTube, give me a thumbs up. You can find me on Instagram. You can absolutely reserve your next Blue Soul Wellness session, the sound healing session. I have the best music on planet Earth. I'm not lying. I have the best music on planet Earth. I'm standing 10 toes down on that because my music is designed to build, love, unite, and empower you about your endocannabinoid system. Plus, my beats are hot, my lyrics are good, and guess what? You need to be there to experience it. Okay, so without further ado, guys, I am going to leave you right now. I'm going to remind you to go ahead and complete your application for the Decide to Thrive Soul Renewal Endocannabinoid System Detox today. You can find it at soulhealthcommunity.com. And without further ado, I want you to have a wonderful rest of the week. Thanks again for being here with me. And I hope to see you soon, guys. Blessings to you and blessings